Back live with the Haryana poll of polls. Ladies and gentlemen, the mega poll of polls gives the Congress a runaway victory. It's the single largest party with a clear majority. There is no pollster who's saying, except for Dainik Bhaskar, that it is not going to cross the majority mark. The Dainik Bhaskar's lower median is 44. That's still just too short of the halfway mark, that is, or the majority number, that is 46. Halfway mark is 45, 90 seats. But look at where the BJP is. Only one pollster is saying that the BJP will cross the 30-seat number in Haryana. Otherwise, they are going to be between 18 to 29. That's where the median is, that's where the range is for the BJP. Clearly, even the other smaller parties, JJP plus others, none of them very significant to make a solid impact. It's only the Bhaskar number at the bottom that is giving some number or some heft to the others. And that's also, the seats are being pulled away from the BJP's kitty and it's going into the others. But overall, between 55 to 65 seats for the Congress party. That's where it looks like. Rahul Verma is with us from outside the studio, and then we'll bring it into the studio. Pradeep Bhandari is here, Aarti Tikku is here, Advaita Kala along with Rahul Shashankar and Zaka Jacob. Yes, Rahul Verma, your assessment
on Haryana? Largely, yes, I think, because there has been an expectation that Congress is going to do better in Haryana, since BJP has been in power for last 10 years, and there has been number of issues which has come up in last couple of years, including farmers' unrest, and then there were issues with wrestlers. There is some economic anxiety. So in sum total, the BJP in Haryana faces a formidable challenge. Even when they were running government last time, they only had 40 seats. So with 10 years of anti-incumbency, and that too with anti-incumbency at the center as well as state level, it would have been a very, very difficult task for BJP to improve its position from 40 seats. To me, I think BJP in both states, their sort of strategy would be simple, to hope that Congress does not get outright majority in either Haryana or Jammu and Kashmir, and BJP emerges as a single largest party, hopes for a situation where a post-election coalition can be cobbled up. Even in 2019 in Haryana, BJP was a coalition government with the support of JJP.
I think this time around, though, Rahul, correct me if I'm wrong, I think in Haryana at least it's very clear. It's a straight-up two-horse fight. It's either BJP or it's Congress. I think the smaller parties, particularly JJP and INLD, etc., I think the voters don't want to be seen as... It's a mentality, right? You don't want to waste your vote on a ghoda that's not going to win. So you're backing either, one of the two parties that you think will win.
So, Zaka, this trend was even visible in 2024 Lok Sabha election. Yeah. Let me just give you a number, which is that if you look from south to north, any party that was not part of either NDA or India Alliance got squeezed. AIDMK in Tamil Nadu, YSRCP in Andhra, TRS in Telangana, BJD in Odisha, BSP in UP, INLD and JJP in Haryana, Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab. In almost every state, if you were not part of either NDA or India, you were squeezed. And this is happening in Haryana as well.
So it's like the polarization or consolidation in favor of one grouping or the other grouping is happening. A third grouping is not being looked at all. And largely we are seeing Vidhan Sabha state also getting into two-party situations. Jammu Kashmir being an exception, because this time around it's happening after a lot of disruption, delimitation, etc. Into the studio here, Pradeep Bhandari.
Well, Anand, there has been a consensus on the panel, particularly on Jammu and Kashmir, on 3 points. A, that it's a big win for democracy. B, that it's an end of terror politics. And C, that it's a complete failure of Rahul Gandhi. And I'll tell you how. Congress party is fighting on 32 seats. The Bharatiya Janata party is fighting on maximum seats in the valley. Point number one. The Bharatiya Janata party is the single largest party, even if I take your exit poll. That is point number two. Look at what has happened in Shopian, what has happened in Sopore. All these places were places which were known for blackout. Those are places which were known for shutdown calls. Today, you've seen more than 40-45% voting in both these areas. So it's a big win for Indian democracy. Now, let me come to the specifics of it. Lectures were given, Anand, by a party, PDP, which got got mere 8% vote share in the recently conducted Lok Sabha election, and Mehbooba Mufti herself and a party lost the election. The Bharatiya Janata Party, even on vote share terms, was the single largest party in the entire Jammu and Kashmir in the recently conducted Lok Sabha. We are very, very confident that by consolidating our entire bandwidth in Jammu and also increasing our vote share, in particular in many seats in the valley, and also we have a highly likelihood of winning certain seats in Jammu and Kashmir, might be in Kashmir, might be single-digit seats. We will be in catching distance of forming the government, and there cannot be a government in Jammu and Kashmir without the BJP.
This. You're saying exit polls have not captured what you're saying.
I am saying that the exit poll is underestimating the surge of the Bharatiya Janata Party in Jammu and Kashmir, in particular in Jammu. They are overestimating the
So you are saying that you may be in a position to form government without the PDP or the National Conference?
Not maybe. We will be in the position of forming the government. You will see a newer alliance, a newer coalition, which will be having the Bharatiya Janata Party as the dominant and the main party.
So no, let me ask Pradeep one second. You are saying you will need the help of some independents, newer parties.
Yes.
Will you or will you not join hands with Engineer Rashid's party?
Well, that is the post-poll decision that the party will take. Any individual or anybody who is interested in taking the state of Jammu and Kashmir forward, who believes in nation first, will be coming with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
You have a thought or two to say about that? If the BJP were to join hands with Engineer Rashid's party, would that be kosher for you?
No, I mean, look, I've always even opposed the tie-up with the PDP in the past, because I believe that individuals in the past who have sort of sworn allegiance to the Indian Constitution have meant it only because they've seen power and they see the opportunity to capture it. But fundamentally, look at what all of these political parties are demanding. The BJP says that there is never, ever a circumstance of going back on its decision on 370. But a large number of these players want to actually, unfortunately, bring back Article 370.
So are you trying to say Engineer Rashid today is not asking for going back to the old system?
Engineer Rashid is demanding the release of what he calls our political prisoners. You have the Jamaat that very recently and continues to be banned in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So look, I mean, fundamentally we can all celebrate democracy, and it's great that people are at least getting the opportunity to exercise vote, and for that the credit has to go to the BJP. They've created the enabling circumstance in this entire geography. But the fact is, what are these people asking the vote on? What are the issues? And none of those issues match in any way the BJP's outlook.
So there is no common to have a minimum program?
Well,
Nothing
I mean,
common.
look, you had one with the PDP, but then look at where the PDP is today. The PDP is finished. So if these political entrepreneurs want to then sort of find themselves discredited or rejected by the people of Jammu and Kashmir, they'll take that risk. But that's a risk.
It is near to impossible to have a government in Jammu and Kashmir without any representation of Jammu. That is point number one. Point number two, I give it to you in writing that it will be a Bharatiya Janata Party-led government. That is point number two. Point number three, anybody, any individual, any political party which will join the Bharatiya Janata Party-led alliance, it will be nation first. So there will be no compromise on the abrogation of Article 370. At the end of the day, we want the Indian Constitution, democracy and nation interest to win. Today, this is the first election where there have been zero indulgence from Pakistan and proxies of Pakistan in the valley. So I believe it's a larger cause post-abrogation of Article 370.
Aarti Tikku, Advaita Kala, the probability of Kumari Shelja becoming Chief Minister of Haryana is greater than the BJP forming government in Jammu and Kashmir? or is it the other way?
When the Congresses will not
Or is it the other way around?
That's nasty. Well, I think in J&K, BJP has a good chance of forming the government. And in fact, earlier in the discussion, somebody was saying that, in fact, Mr. Soos was saying that National Conference, PDP and Congress together will be the most stable and the most secular government. But I think BJP singularly today is actually in the position to form a coalition government and a pluralistic government, which will involve everyone, which will take everyone along and be an inclusive government.
No, but who will they join hands with? Will they join hands with Sajad Lone? Will
No,
they
I
join
think-
hands with Engineer Rashid? Will they join hands with Altaf Bukhari?
I think BJP will be in a position to dictate the terms. See, we shouldn't look at this election only from a provincial point of view, only from an assembly election point of view. If you really look at the history of Jammu and Kashmir, this is for the first time all the disgruntled elements, including Jamaat-e-Islami, including those who were part of Hurriyat Conference, they've actually now contesting, and actually they swore by the Indian Constitution when they contested the elections. So I think we should not look at it from a very...
The SDPI also swears by the Indian Constitution when it's standing for election, but the SDPI happens to be the political wing of a banned terror organization. All these 4 or 5 people who have exited or who have somehow been able to contest the election have links with the Jamaat-e-Islami. The Jamaat-e-Islami is a banned terror organization.
Rahul, you're absolutely correct. But at the same time, we will have to see what the terms of this arrangement, this coalition government that will come up after the elections are out on 8th. And I think my sense is that BJP will be determining those terms of arrangement, that terms of agreement with all the political parties, and it will be a historic document. It is not going to be any other or any other
there is one
election.
aspect. Now, if there is a party which is like Engineer Rashid's party, which has got 38 members or 38 candidates, 35 candidates have been freed. There are other people, other elements who you say in the past were separatist, etc. They have now come back and participated in the democratic process, and they have said...
No,
and
but Engineer Rashid
they've got a mandate. What I'm trying to say is, there is a situation in the past where a Sayyid Salahuddin had the mandate of the people but was not given it. And imagine and guess what he did and what turned around that sword in the 80s. Now, there will be a story...
He wasn't a booked terrorist back then.
I'm just saying, is there going to be...
prosecuted by the law. He became disgruntled.
Hear me out.
These people are already, already have a record.
Please listen to me. Engineer Rashid continues to be in jail. He's not... He's out on bail. He'll go back to jail once his bail
why don't you sign up with Amrit Pal?
No, there are so many political parties, political leaders who are out on bail on various acts which are against the law of our country. Are they stopping them from contesting elections?
There is a difference.
No, I'm just saying, if this person says, no, I'm reformed. Yeah, I'm saying, is this the story narrative? Hear me out.
Those are different.
Hear me out, Rahul. I'm saying, if this is the story narrative that then is built, that we don't want to create another era of dissonance, and people who trusted the system, came under the constitution, are now being moved aside, are not being given a chance at governance, then what is going to be the narrative? What will you then say? What will you then say? If an Engineer Rashid and his party tomorrow come and say, we give up our old ways, we swear by Bharatiya constitution, then should they get a chance or not?
The BJP already tied up with the PDP. They had a common minimum program. Who actually pulled out of it? No. So is this a recipe for stability? Or is this a recipe for wrangling?
Rahul, let me put this in perspective. In fact, before 2019, 5th August, Jammu and Kashmir was being dealt with in a different framework altogether. 2019, it's been a political tectonic shift in Jammu and Kashmir, whether you agree or not. But the fact is that political resolution of Jammu and Kashmir, which was lingering on for 70 years, it's been settled on August 5th, when Article 370 was abrogated. Because you remember, that was the condition on which Sheikh Abdullah negotiated with the government of India in 1947, in 1950. So we should not, you continuously are equating Jammu and Kashmir, today Jammu and Kashmir, with what Jammu and Kashmir was 5 years ago. You will have to factor into the fact that in the last 5 years, there is a paradigm shift constitutionally, politically,
that might be fine.
and also socially.
On 370, I do have a point to make. I think Omar referred to this in the campaign as well. No matter which government comes to power in Jammu and Kashmir, I don't think they can restore 370. 370 has to be restored in Parliament.
It's never going to happen.
It is a constitutional amendment. It has to happen in Parliament.
It's never going to happen.
Unless you have the numbers in Parliament, I don't see them restoring 370.
It's never going to happen.
It's a rhetoric. You can put it in your manifesto, but it's not going to happen.
Let's not get confused here. Gentlemen, the point is this, and it's very, very clear. The point is that the terms of the politics have not changed. Yes, your equations might have changed when it comes to constitutionally, the mechanics in which this state or this area is going to be governed. Remember, the governor will retain veto power. Let's not forget that. But the terms of the conversation on the ground have not changed. Yes, there's peace.
No,
But where have
the terms of conversation have also changed.
Where have they changed? The people
the terms of conversation on ground have changed. Terms of conversation on ground.
One second.
Rahul.
One second, sir. Let me finish my point. It's not fair. I'm making a very simple point. How do you sit opposite the National Conference that has in its manifesto come out and said that we want, whether it can deliver or not is a different matter. We believe that there should be talks with Pakistan. We believe trade should resume with Pakistan. We believe fundamentally that people who have been jailed because their rights have been abused, they should be released. Pelters should be rehabilitated. How are you going to sit with somebody who says that Article 370 is for us a fundamental ideal?
Who's going to sit? Who's going to sit across?
The NC. And the BJP.
NC and the BJP are never getting into an alliance. NC and the BJP are never getting into an alliance. The NC itself has
Then what is the difference between getting into an alliance with Engineer Rashid's party? He's saying exactly the same thing.
How are the MPs in Parliament sitting next to a Farooq Abdullah and Aga Rullah in Parliament? They are here in Parliament with their stated position, right?
Do you believe that Engineer Rashid should be in Parliament?
Are you trying to say that the people's mandate?
Do you think Engineer Rashid should be in Parliament? Yes or no?
If Engineer Rashid...
Yes or no?
Let me ask you this.
Yes or no?
Let me ask you this, Rahul. If Engineer Rashid and his entire party stand together, hold the constitution in their hand, and we swear by the tricolour, and we want to change our ways.
But he's booked.
Give us a chance because... No, give us a chance. Give us a chance because we've been elected by the people. Are you going to say that you will take away their elected... You will take away their elected mandate from them?
Amritpal has done the same thing.
You cannot take their elected mandate from them. That's not a democracy. A democracy doesn't allow us that.
Calm it down a notch and let's get Advaita.
No, much as you and me may not like an Engineer Rashid opposition, if they got the vote, they've got the vote.
Advaita first, yeah.
Okay,
My point is then ask the BJP, ask them, why did they allow Engineer Rashid's people to contest the election? Why did they allow Jamaat-e-Islami to contest the election? Why did they allow anybody to allow them?
It's the election commission. It's the election commission.
Why did the election commission allow them to contest the election?
Ask the election commission.
No, but if the people have voted for them today, can the election commission say, sorry, I made a mistake, I can't let you fight?
They voted for Amritpal Singh. Does he deserve to be, should he be part of some
So then let the election commission decide that. You ask that question of the election commission. You can't blame 20 lakh voters who have voted for Amritpal Singh.
No. I am only looking at
because the people got a choice and they exercise their choice. That's their fundamental constitutional right.
Then you can also tie up with the SDPI in another state.
So they are. The Congress party is.
I'm not
and
talking,
the SDPI still is a political party.
I'm talking about the BJP.
See, please ask the government of the day and the election commission that if a PFI is banned but its offshoot SDPI is officially listed as a political party, they are allowing it. It's a constitutional body like the election commission, knowing fully well that's allowing it. So then if people are voting for it, that's how it is. That's the democracy we live in.
Engineer Rashid, the BJP should tie up then with Amritpal. The BJP should tie up with
will tie up with whoever they believe they want to tie up with, and the people will vote for whoever they want to vote for. You can sit here and say whatever you want, sir. But the point is that position is held as constitution.
Let's bring it back to our election coverage.
If somebody is holding the constitution, can you challenge that person, deny that person their right?
Very clear. The Bharatiya Janata Party will only tie with an individual who has the Tiranga in his hand and the constitution in his hand. It's as simple as that. And we welcome any individual who has the Tiranga in his hand and the constitution and does not believe in the views of Pakistan.
The BJP has already said that they will tie up with Engineer Rashid and his party if they get the chance. That's what it is.
Article 370 is permanent. Nobody in this world can change it.
There is one gentleman who has both in his hand, the Tiranga and the constitution, and that's Rahul Gandhi.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Tie up with him as well.
Exactly. Now go ahead, please. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
Anti-national bulate ho, sir.
There is a difference. I'll tell you. आप तिरंगा हाथ में रखो, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन दूसरे हाथ में रखो, पर अगर आपकी नियत में खोट है और अगर आप पाकिस्तान के स्वर में स्वर मिलाते हो तो फिर आप एक बैग
So you tell me that Engineer Rashid की नियत में खोट नहीं है, लेकिन राहुल गांधी की नियत में खोट है. That's what you're saying, Pradeep Bhandari.
Okay,
is that what you're saying?
Please, let's get
intent. You tell me.
Is that what you're saying?
Anand, I'm asking you. If individuals in Jammu and Kashmir has voted an individual and they say that they swear by the Constitution of India, they swear by nation first, they go against the Pakistan, they say they are against terror, do we not support them?
Correct. So then the individual, this is an individual with a Tiranga in his hand, with a constitution in his hand, who's been voted by the voters not just of Wayanad but also of Raebareli. So are you going to say, and you yet call him anti-national?
His alliance has been rejected.
It's politically convenient and inconvenient to you.
Advaita Kala.
Oh,
Yes.
whew. I think I should volunteer to moderate. Okay, very quickly. See, if we can tie up, and I think the Home Minister has done a brilliant job of that in his tenure, which is, reaching agreements with the Nagas, very recently with Manipur. Why make Kashmir the exception? Let it also, even the people there who feel the need that they're turning towards the Indian Constitution, that road should be open for them. And I want to move away from politics and just say, look, you've had a great voter turnout in a state that has, been troubled for a long time for whatever the reasons. Secondly, most of the voters who turned out were women. So that's a big sign, and that's a great sign, because I hate to say this, gentlemen, since you're all on the screen with me, but women are more collaborative, and they do have an eye on the future. And I think that's a very good sign, because it tells you the future for Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, is to be wholly integrated with India. And I think the turnout tells us that. So I'm actually very pleased. It doesn't matter who wins. Eventually, someone will have to win, someone will have to lose. But I hope Article 370 stays, which it will, because it's Parliament.
They've said that.
I think we really have to wrap up.
She's absolutely right. And he's right too. They hold the tricolour and they hold the constitution. There are some people in Kashmir who want to hold two constitutions and two flags.
Correct. All right. On that note, thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Ultimately, anybody and everybody who works for democracy and respects the ballot should get a chance if they have been elected and voted to govern. That we'll get to know on result day. Do join us back then on that day here at CNN News 18 in the Battle for the States. Signing off for the moment.